What am I saying? Welcome to DDT Wrestling Podcast, Dad and Daughter Talks Wrestling, where we get into the topics of everything wrestling. We're in WrestleMania season. Does it feel like WrestleMania season? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, here we are. Let's start. We're going to talk about SmackDown and then get into our topics like we do. So
Yeah,
without further ado,
let's talk some wrestling. Yes, so SmackDown was very hot last night, and as it should be. A lot of people have definitely been looking at SmackDown as a secondary show to Raw, and I think, the stars on there are feeling it, creative is feeling it, and they want to make sure that they're like, we can compete with Netflix. We can compete with, all the stars that are on Raw. So yeah, this past SmackDown was really hot. It starts off with Drew McIntyre quitting? Question mark? A lot of people were very surprised by that, but Drew had the unfortune of losing his title to our Golden Boy, which we'll get into forthcoming, and he blames Nick Aldis and Jacob Fatu, to which he then quits before they can even put a match on against them, which they eventually did, but that was kind of funny. But yes, so Drew McIntyre quits, and then they continue with this feud between him and Jacob Fatu inevitably. Not sure if it's going to be something that continues to Mania because they actually already set up a match, but we expected them to do something with them considering Drew will no longer be in the main title picture. Um, I think another highlight before the main one was definitely Rhea making another appearance, to which they are basically making Jade look a little weak in terms of the promos. I guess it's a creative decision. I do have my, own personal opinions about that, as well as, potentials for what they might do with that. I do think that there is intention as to why they're making Rhea look so strong in terms of promos. One of the things that I do hope is that they have some physicality, but regardless, nobody expected Rhea Ripley to make an appearance after Jade winning, to which she did, which is good. It's good for them to continue to get heat, but I feel like Rhea is 2-0 in terms of the promo game with that. And then the final highlight, which I think is the biggest highlight of the entire week, Randall Keith Orton going back to his roots. We know who he is, 2009 Randy Orton. He heard the voices in his head, and he absolutely, violently obliterated Cody Rhodes, which I was not expecting this soon. But you did make a great point last night where they probably only have 4 or 5 shows to get this show on the road. But yeah, no, I really thought that them signing the contract was just going to be like this is a gentleman's duel, and then they would build up to a potential heel turn. But no, they did it quickly. And it has prompted a lot of debate on who will actually be the closer for WrestleMania.
they actually hugged, man. They hugged, man. I love you, man. I
I
love
love
you,
you.
brother. But anyway, starting out with, yeah, Drew McIntyre quit. I'm surprised that they booked that match for next SmackDown because I was predicting that as a WrestleMania match, unless you have shenanigans and now they have a gimmick match, man standing match of WrestleMania. I don't understand that. I don't know. Um, but the events of the end definitely put to rest that it'll be like a fatal four-way. There's no way you do that now
No.
with such heat right there. Um, I don't know, you missed one of the bigger highlights, the curse.
Oh,
The
did.
potential of a, I mean, you know WrestleMania is gonna have the celebrity match.
Mhm.
I I don't mind that. It's a fun match. You get to see Kit Wilson, who I think, a lot of people like. I mean, the Miz is the Miz,
Mhm.
and then if whether we want to see Jelly Roll or not, oh, we get Danhausen. He instantly comes in WWE and he may get he's on every show. He has
Right.
multiple segments. His shirt
Exactly.
is selling, and he may get a WrestleMania match. That's crazy. Considering where he was in a pecking order at AEW. He had TV appearance, but he wasn't featured like they're featuring. I
Hmm.
mean, I think his character is definitely more suited for WWE than the more gritty
Yeah.
thing they do with AEW. So he's a character. And one thing they don't do in AEW is character. No, no.
Oh. uh,
But back to SmackDown, I was surprised that they booked that match. So maybe it's going to lead to a gimmick match. I mean, just them two having a regular match, maybe a last man standing match, or just something hardcore, something. Give it something, some spice.
mm,
Um,
I totally.
yeah, we had Jade. She basically beat Michin in another match. I just don't get. I don't know how much faith I have, and maybe they're getting Jade back for what she did online. Maybe they didn't like that.
Yeah.
Like her, so she's getting, not that her promo skills are the best. She
Hmm.
kind of says what she says, and not that Rhea is the best, but Rhea is definitely more experienced in that arena
Yes.
than Jade. But she's been cooking her, and I don't know. You cook her in a promos and then beat her at WrestleMania. Gosh, talk about diminishing her character. But they did have her in B-Fab, which I think that could help elevate B-Fab if she kind of teams with her and they kind of do a heel thing. Maybe they do ultimately it turns into a Oscar Kyrie's B-Fab. um, yeah, so you had that, and then we have the straight man, the time-honored straight man comic act with R-Truth and Damian Priest, and I think this will help him
Mm,
quite a bit
true.
because his character is just so dry to me, and I think having that dynamic, they had chemistry when R-Truth tried to join Judgment Day. So there was a chemistry there. So maybe, I think you can definitely elevate that. IC tag team titles on them. I wanted titles on the MFTs for the longest time, but it's like, all right,
Don't even
the
get me
titles just, I know you didn't even talk about that match, but
crazy.
yeah, I see good things for them. I think it will definitely help Damian Priest the same way that Bliss is helping Charlotte as
Yeah,
far as the character stuff.
totally.
So, of course, the main event. Look, we saw what we saw, and Randy Orton elevated himself into that arena of not face, not heel, just loved by the fans. They're gonna sing his song. They're gonna chant RKO. They're gonna chant. They were chanting one more time after he killed Cody.
Yeah,
You know? But there was shock though.
there was.
That was, I didn't, like you said, I didn't expect it the way they did it, but once he did it, once it started, I'm like, okay, he got to get color because you need you need Randy to be heinous with this attack. If he's gonna go here and then punt him and
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
but like I said last night, if Randy Orton can get people to hate him and boo him and cheer Cody, he is the man because Cody is in that weird realm right now. People are getting Cody fatigue, Cody derangement syndrome, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, if Randy Orton can pull that off, he's the man. I mean, he's already the man, but to be able to shed that's like Stone Cold trying to come back and be a heel.
yeah,
You can't do it. You
yeah,
just gonna you just want him on the screen. You're gonna cheer everything he does, and
yep,
that's where Randy Orton and CM Punk.
yeah,
Although I think CM Punk can go heel, I think CM Punk can do everything.
yeah.
But let me not go on a CM Punk Mark rant. But yeah, that's my thoughts of SmackDown. It was definitely entertaining.
Mm,
They've been more entertaining than Raw to me.
mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if it's a star power, but yeah, it feels like the road to WrestleMania. They crafted some matches. It's like they're gonna have a three-way triple threat with the women.
Mm-hmm.
The tag title scene. So we'll see.
Hmm. No, absolutely. And now going into our topics. So my first one, I don't have a cool title for this one. Um, but it specifically has to do with what the women's picture looks like. So last year, at last year's WrestleMania, it was a 14 match card, 7 and 7, which I think 7 is the angel number for how many matches should be on a card. Not too many, not too little. And the ratio of men's matches to women's matches was 10-4. Women only had 4 matches. That was Jade and Naomi, Tiff and Flair, and then
Mm,
Lyra and Becky Lynch, who took out Bailey versus Raquel and Liv for the tag team titles, and then what I would consider one of the best triple threat matches in my life of watching them, Io defending her women's world title versus Bianca and Rhea. Those were the 4 women's matches, and the women knocked it out of the park. I felt like for
100%.
that WrestleMania weekend, but it was only 4. It was only 4 matches to the men's 10. Men had over double, and I don't think that the men should have less because there's just more men on the roster. Men have the higher star power. I'm not denying that, like but there's
Right.
potential for the women to have at least 5 or 6 matches, depending on if they book them for actual WrestleMania proper, or if they decide to do the thing that they do where they're like, it'll happen the Monday after Mania or the Friday after Mania, because sometimes they like to do that crap. But I am really looking forward to this potential of there being more women's matches, considering that the next year, it'll be in Saudi, and the potential for them having more matches over there, to be honest, is low. I don't believe that, they will be prioritizing the women as much unless they like literally have no choice and they're like, well, this feud has so much potential that we can't ignore it. But I just feel like um us expecting any more than 4 matches like last year for Saudi's WrestleMania, it's pretty slim. So this year I think is the year for them to do it. And I think, like we were talking, like we already know that the 2 matches are set for the titles, but the potential of there being a multi tag team title match, AJ Lee defending her IC title, which it's inevitable. AJ Lee, she's gonna be in WrestleMania. There's just no way that they don't get her. I would love for them to defend both women's mid-tier titles, especially with there being potential if Chelsea Green is healthy enough to kind of interfere rather than being that third wheel in Julia and Tiffany. I would love for Chelsea to kind of interfere in that to make it more interesting. And then just additional potential for what they're gonna do with Becky Lynch. They can't just not have Becky at WrestleMania. It just doesn't feel right. So I am looking forward to see
Right.
what that match card looks like. I do hope that they're intentional with booking the women, not just like, all right, we'll just randomly throw this together. Like we'll just do this. Like I would love for them to be
A
like,
women's battle royal.
exactly. Like, let's just do a women's battle royal. I'm just like, all right, guys, wrap it up. Unless that is for there's like a good stipulation and you include a lot of new talent or NXT talent in it. All right, I'm on board with that because fine, you're getting the younger rookies in a WrestleMania match. Okay. But besides that, that's like my only reason. Besides that, I am looking forward to seeing what the women's matches look like for this year, considering they will be higher, at least by 1 or 2 matches than last year.
Like, like I've been saying, in like the next 5 years, we may be like, gosh, can they book some men, please?
Yeah.
Because they are so good at creating women superstars, and there's not a lot in the pipeline. They just brought up 3 of the biggest stars
Mhm.
on NXT. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's like they put together that tag match. Look, you're not gonna have WrestleMania and not have Charlotte in it. So
Exactly.
that's right there. You have 6 women right there. I wouldn't mind. Like I feel like that Intercontinental Championship is going to be a triple threat. Maybe Bailey, you get Bailey back, and they're not going to. They can't screw her over again.
Again.
And
Ugh.
then of course, like you said, Becky Lynch
Hmm.
is going to be in WrestleMania. But I wouldn't mind another triple threat for the U.S. title. You get Julia in there. You're not gonna have WrestleMania without Stratton.
No.
There's no way. And throw Chelsea Green in there.
Why not?
Triple threat. Chelsea Green pins
Wins.
Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, Chelsea wins.
After the Michael Hayes stuff,
Yeah,
she pins her.
they curve
Gets
us.
her beloved title back. Gets her beloved title back and changes it to the Canadian flag like Ethan Page did. But well, it is the US title. But so right now we had a two women's match. How many matches are we booking here? So we already have the two women's world titles.
Mhm.
We have the tag titles,
Mhm.
which will be defended. Well, no, there's only two matches are booked,
Yeah,
right?
two are booked. Two are
Two are booked.
confirmed.
So we have four matches to put together here.
Yes.
So we're saying the women's tag titles match,
Mhm.
a triple threat with the Bellas and
Mhm.
the
Irresistible
irresistible
forces.
forces. I
Mhm.
don't like that name, but I get it. But
Yeah.
there's something they could have done a little better with that. And then Charlotte and Bliss. And then so we have two mid-tier women titles,
Mhm.
whether they're straight up matches or triple threats. That's three,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Then Asuka and Io, because you're not leaving Io off the card.
Yeah, I don't you can't have WrestleMania without EO either. So that would be
And
great.
then and that story right there, that story's been developing as long as the Judgment Day.
Agreed.
um, but yeah. I mean, unfortunately, you don't have Raquel on a card.
Right.
Roxanne Perez not on a card, but that's six strong women matches right there.
I agree. I agree. They're
I
and
mean,
they're
you're gonna have Raquel probably
right.
with Liv.
I was just gonna say
On
that I was like, they're not on the card, but they'll make an appearance. They're gonna be in Vegas
right, they'll be
for
there.
her match.
So yeah, I mean, look, and there's women in the pipeline. I'm
Hmm.
telling you, we're gonna be talking about this. That ratio is gonna be different. Four men's matches.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna have your legends hanging on.
Yeah.
You know, Roman Reigns is gonna turn into Brock Lesnar. He just shows up until he's finally
Yeah.
done. Cody says his next contract is his last. And you're just gonna have like Obafemi, Trick Williams, and Braun Breaker holding down the fort,
Yeah.
you know,
As the main three, yeah.
as the main three males. But yeah, yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Those are six women matches that I would be really excited to see.
Yeah, yeah. Solid matches. And then my next topic, the great debate of the night two main event. 48 hours ago, we all were yipping our yaps and saying, yeah, Punk and Roman, they're the closer. Because those two god tier promos that they gave us. We didn't know they could outdo themselves. Really, this is the second promo, and they outdid themselves. Roman is being featured for Monday. Is he going to outdo himself? Very likely he will outdo himself. Even if Punk isn't there to be his dance partner on the mic, he could just say something and we could be like, damn, that's how good he is. Um, However, what we thought was going to be just a nice, cute little gentleman signing their contract with a quill filled with
I
ink.
love you.
I love you, mentor and mentee.
My
Randy Orton
kids.
kills Cody Rhodes.
You're my brother.
You're my brother. Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes are now ahead of Punk and Roman in terms of physical. Punk and Roman have not gotten physical once. Punk and Roman are head and shoulders ahead of Cody and Randy in terms of promo and story because of what they've gotten to do on the mic. So now it's up to both sides to see what they can do on the reverse. What is going to be the promo that we get from Randy? And I think that it's very critical that Randy obviously focuses on talking about his motive behind that, but he has to talk in a way that makes the crowd want to hate his guts. Personally, I envision this in my head. People just like the sight of Randy Orton. They like to hear his voice. They like to hear him say RKO. A part of me thinks that even though this is a little bit of a risk, but a part of me thinks that he should get some schmuck to talk on his behalf and him to not even pick up a mic just because he's like, I don't want to talk in this city. I don't want to talk to any of you. Kind of like circa Michael Cole talking for the general manager that didn't exist on the computer and people hated every time he talked. It could even be that Randy Orton has a card of notes and he gives it to one of the commentators to read on his behalf because he doesn't want to talk to the crowd. He needs to do something because even me, after what he did to Cody, obviously it was terrible. Even me, because of this whole history making, he's trying to go for 15. It's hard to not cheer for that. And yes, what he did in terms of physical and violence was very good. I still think that there are going to be people that hijack the show and still want to cheer for him, kind of like how they did for John Cena. Now, Cody Rhodes is amazing on the mic, and he can easily pull our heartstrings to make us want to cheer for him. But come whatever night, WrestleMania, when they're doing the punches back and forth, I still can envision people cheering for Randy just because it's Randy freaking Orton, you know? So I think that it is extremely crucial how they book Randy when it comes to him picking up a mic. Cody Rhodes, we know what he can do. We know that he can get us on our side. Cody Crybabies are still alive and well. Punk and Roman, there's a part of me that I'm not sure if I want them to get physical at all before WrestleMania because those two are not really known for any theatrics in the ring or anything. Cody and Roman, or sorry, Cody and Randy are going to have a better in-ring performance, in my opinion, just because they do more theatrics. Punk and Roman are more on the facial expressions, more on the storytelling, more on the, getting the crowd to have kind of a reaction. And I'm like, I don't know if they're looking at this and saying, well, now we need them to get physical. Now, if Roman Reigns says something about CM Punk dog, we can expect him to get physical with Roman Reigns. CM Punk said something about Roman Reigns' dad, and the Usos, Jimmy Uso punched CM Punk in the face. So there was physicality there, but indirectly, not directly from Roman. So I'm curious to see how they kind of bounce off each other because there is a chip on the shoulder of Cody and Randy for sure when it comes to people just automatically giving Punk and Roman the main event. And some people are standing stubborn on that. Some people are like, yep, nope, it's still, I don't care what they do. I really think that they're going to try to get, people to go back and forth and creative is going to have that final decision point on what they choose to close the last thing that people see. Will either be Cody or Randy raising the title or Punk or Roman raising the title. What is going to be the better headline?
So Cody and Randy, it already got physical, and there's no way that Cody, it got to be on site. He tried to kill him.
Yeah.
It's got to be on site. But I think the only way, sadly enough, the only way they can elevate themselves past Roman and Punk is the war of words.
Yeah.
And I don't see it. You know, Cody's going to come out there and do a passionate promo that's going to make you stand up and cry, and
Yeah.
he's going to say enough. You know, and, you know, and Randy Orton, if he goes into that, like I had a picture of the methodical legend killer, Randy. If he goes into that, I don't think he should say the word RKO one time because that's more of a face pop
Mhm.
comment. He can definitely go on in the direction of how Cody elevated himself above him in the card, and he's this and a 15-time champion. He can go that direction.
Mhm.
Just the jealousy, angry jealousy route. He can go
Yeah.
there, and he can cut a good promo doing that. I still find it. I think it's going to be difficult to get people to cheer for
Yeah.
Cody and boo Randy.
Yeah.
That factor right there, they're shades of gray with Punk and Roman.
They are.
Punk is beloved, but then he says what he said about his father,
Mhm.
and Roman is still Roman. It's
Mhm.
like it's divided. It is I don't think is any match right now that can really touch it. Now, this could change Friday. I don't know what they have cooking, but I don't see how it can't be on site for Cody.
Right.
It totally eliminated the whole. There's going to be a fatal four-way. This is a blood
Yeah.
feud right now. Um, I don't know if do they make it a gimmick match? Do they make it a gimmick match? Like
I
I don't
think
know,
so.
or just other than just a straight up match,
Yeah.
like maybe a first blood, but you got to have somebody pin somebody
Yeah,
and
yeah.
for what? Yeah, you got to do that. So I don't know. I don't know if you do that. Um, but yeah, two exciting matches, but Cody and Orton is not one. I'm sorry. I don't see how they can possibly move. It's Punk and Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I don't see how they can move it.
Right.
So
No, that's
yeah,
that's true. They're gonna try everything in their power. And the point that you brought up about how like Punk is beloved, but he still said what he said. Like the crowd, I forgot what audience they were in front of, but they were cheering, they were chanting, apologize or like say sorry. Like they were chanting that.
yeah,
So
whatever.
it's
Yeah,
like people still have those kinds of morals. And granted, he talked about somebody's dead dad. Maybe Randy has to do that. I don't know. Like, does Randy have to go that far?
oh
He
my
could.
God.
He could. I mean,
Come on. Both both matches doing the same thing.
I
Your
mean,
father's dead. That's why your father's dead.
but like, I think that they're looking
It's
at that
right
as
there.
like potent, like it's low hanging fruit at this point, and
It's right there. Right. It's right
right.
there.
So I'm like, I mean, I maybe if they want to really make it difficult for they're going to be like, okay, we're going to talk about whatever the hell we can.
I gotta give some respect to somebody real quick. Christian. Christian is the bring up your deadbeat dad guy.
He's the one who did
And
it first. He did it first. Oh my god.
yes. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's everybody loves Dusty. Dusty's um I was listening to the interview that Cody just did, and his fingerprints are still all over this company. Little things like he's like, when a cage is lowering and you hear
Mhm.
the dun 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 dun, dun, he's like, that's Dusty. Like little things like that, he has his imprint on.
Wow.
You know, a lot of the women that you see, Dusty, all over Dusty. So yeah, that's low hanging fruit right there for him to go to say something dastardly.
I mean, like Drew McIntyre ripped up like what they called is like the last great picture that Cody Rhodes had with his like he lit it on fire. So I'm like, if Drew McIntyre lit a picture of
Everybody goes at his
yeah,
father.
everybody goes at his father. So I'm like, there's no way Randy doesn't, but I feel like Randy could do it in a way that's so much more like psychologically damning that you're like, oh God, Randy, like, oh, I can't even I can't be happy that you're wanting the 15. Like you're just a terrible person. So I don't know how far though they're willing to go for that.
There's a lot of legends that I killed that I took out, but there's one legend I wish I got to take out.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like,
Yeah,
oh.
that's a gap.
And then
That's you boo him. I'd boo him if I'm in the arena.
yeah, of course, of course. And all
Little known secret, Dusty brought me wrestling.
he really
Like the first thing I've ever seen in wrestling. I was switching through WBFF Channel 45 in Baltimore, and I see this video of an old Cadillac, and it was some guys in a car. They was like, "That's him right there," and I'm like, "What the heck am I watching? That's him right there." Yeah, you see this white man with a little afro get out of a with a big meat coat on. He gets out of his vehicle, and the four horsemen get out of another car and start beating them down. And all you hear is and they take a baseball bat and they don't show it, and then Dusty Rhodes is like, "Make it good," and they hit him. They break his wrists. They break his wrists. I
wow.
was locked in. That was the old NWA. I was locked in. I'm like, what is this I'm watching?
Yeah.
And Dusty Rhodes. And
Wow.
of course, I definitely lean. I mean, I love NWA, Ric Flair, and but then you had WWF. But
Mhm.
we veered way off. But yeah, Dusty. Dusty is probably the key. Dusty's always the key. The
Always.
freaking finish the story was about Dusty
It was,
Rhodes.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So
We'll
yeah,
see if Randy can do it. I think he can, and if he does, then he deserves to be have the most titles ever. If he wants to continue for that long,
yeah,
he deserves
I
like
concur.
because I mean, you look back at like John Cena's heel turn, people couldn't boo him. I mean, granted, it was his retirement.
It was so good though. It was so well done.
Great. It was great.
Freaking Dwayne. Freaking Dwayne.
Don't even get me started.
Ugh.
But
Are we
anyway,
back to not naming?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess it depends. If I feel like there's potential for him to show up at Saudi, for them to do the whole
You know
Roman,
what? He'll show up in Saudi. He'll show up.
not
They
money.
John Cena's gonna retire in Saudi. Like you said, they better get all their women matches in here because they're gonna be maybe two, maybe one.
If that, if that. But we know Rhea Ripley will
Yeah.
be there. Rhea Ripley will be in it at the very
Oh,
least.
it'll be Rhea and it'll be Charlotte
Yeah, yeah. That's it.
or
That's
Tiffany
all.
Stratton. They love their blonde.
Yeah,
They
that's
love their
it. No,
blonde.
no triple threat, no more. Oh my
No
gosh.
black women.
Yeah, don't even don't even ask for that. Oh my God. Oh man. So yeah, the great debate of the night two. We'll see where it goes for these next couple of weeks. But my final one was the WrestleMania picture that we have, and we kind of already talked about the women. For the men, we have the same thing. The confirmed matches are obviously our two title matches that we talked about. But now it's like the potential matches that they have going on. We talked about it during the SmackDown highlight of four features, four times Jelly Roll was on the screen. They love them some Jelly Roll. And last WrestleMania, he was featured in a match with Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. Wow. Now, did he hold his own in that match? Sure, but I guess some people were a little bit like, "Hey, we could have seen those three top tier wrestlers in a completely different match, but they had to do it for the celebrity. Now he's associated with The Miz and Kit Wilson and potentially Danhausen, which is very much in his realm. No offense to Jelly Roll, but I think when it comes to inserting celebrities, like fit them in where it works. Bad Bunny did amazing. But I think where they fit him in with Damian Priest, still to this day, Damian Priest's best match, it worked. They didn't have to put him in with some crazy like, oh, we're just gonna fit a he's the celebrity, so we have to fit him in with this person. Like, okay, whatever. Do I believe that
Ellie Roll.
Randy Orton listens to Jelly Roll? Yeah, sure, but like, did Randy Orton? I mean, did he have to be in that match with Jelly Roll? Okay, Jelly Roll was featured four times on SmackDown, and I actually did like the addition where Randy pushed him down, and Jelly was like, "Whoa, it's me." That kind of was like, okay, Randy's kind of going crazy. What's going on? But yeah, so the
They should have
potential
fun.
of that celebrity match with Jelly Roll, I think would be great. You mentioned how great that is for Danhausen. It's also equally as great for Kit Wilson. And The Miz is, like we said, The Miz. Like he is the stepping stone for people. If you need a match and they don't know, The Miz is the perfect person for that. So I
Yep.
am really looking forward to that. I think this is a Jelly Roll win. Jelly Roll decided to take the L in the last match, which I thought was really good. But I think this is a good Jelly Roll win. So even though like I feel like last time I was a little bit more negative about Jelly Roll's inclusion, I think now because of who he's associated with, I'm like, yeah, I'm down for this match. It's gonna be the little fun match that we have. I don't know which night they booked them, but regardless, I think this is good for all parties involved. I know that there has been Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor. Finn Balor finally, after over 1,000 days, longer than Roman Reigns' title reign, Finn Balor is out of the Judgment Day. Somebody said that Finn has been in the Judgment Day back when Dominic Mysterio was short haired and baby faced. And now Dominic Mysterio has like 75 inches of hair and a whole mustache, and Finn is finally out of the Judgment Day. Um, People said it was kind of poetic because the way that he got in the Judgment Day was turning on Adam Copeland, and then the way he got kicked out of the Judgment Day was being turned on by Dom. So it kind of was like a full circle moment. A lot of people are hoping that this, if this gets booked for WrestleMania, that this is a Finn Balor as the Demon, which I think that why not? Because it's been so long since we've seen the Demon. I think at least 4 years, and this really brings back a fresh character to put back in the main title spot. Because if you don't think that Finn
Right.
Balor himself deserves to be a title holder, at the very least, you should think him as the Demon deserves to be in the title picture. So I think him using Dom as the alley oop to go back into that. No, he doesn't have to be the Demon in every PLE, but I think that bringing it back for the main ones, that definitely will reintegrate him into that title picture. And I really hope that if they see the value in booking Dom and Finn for WrestleMania, that we see the Demon. I want to hear the heartbeat. Please, I want to see the face paint. Cause oh my god, I just like thinking about the matches and the feuds that he had back then. It was insane. So this being a match, I would personally think that the only reason I would want this to be a match on WrestleMania is if we see the Demon for sure. Um, Jacob and Drew, I know that there's potential for that. They have already booked them for next week, but it could go into shenanigans and then they add more stipulations onto it. I know that some people are more interested in Drew versus Nick Aldis. I don't think that Nick Aldis is going to be dusting off his wrestling boots. I think Drew and Jacob are going to do great in terms of like a one on one, but I would love to see like a hey, maybe they do a stipulation instead of just a standard match because this feud has been going on for a while. Um, and then we have our, like, hey, what's gonna be for these people who have like no match, like your Gunther. I mean, a lot of people are speculating that he goes against Rey Mysterio and he retires him, which is very much on par for what he has been doing. But I mean, they haven't touched on that at all yet. Maybe next week Raw is where they do that since he officially killed Dragon Lee, or that, which by the way, that match was insanely great. That Gunther match and Dragon Lee match that they did was so awesome. I don't think it's necessary for them to run it back. Gunther already took off his mask and killed him. That's it. After you do that to the luchador, you're done. So now moving on, Gunther can retire Rey Mysterio. And then, of course, you have those mid tier titles. Will Penta defend his IC title? Will Carmelo Hayes defend his US title? Considering we have the women booked, there's no way that they don't book the men's titles. The tag team titles, don't even get me started with those. I just get pissed off every week when I forget who has them and I forget that they're not combined. They need to combine those. Right now, the Usos
Yeah.
and the MFTs have it, and I just get disinterested every single week in them. And then, of course, I think the match that people are looking most forward to that is a non-title match is Brock Lesnar versus question mark. Now, a lot of people are hoping that it's Obafemi. However, there's been some speculation that Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar think that he shouldn't lose this match until he officially retires. To which my response and your response is keep Obafemi away. Keep Obafemi at a 50-mile distance away, if that's the case. um, we even went as far to say feed him LA Knight, which I'm sorry, LA Knight boy. Like I want what's best for you, but unfortunately I have to prioritize Obafemi. Um, but you brought up a great point. I don't want to step on your toes here, but you brought up a great contingency plan for Obafemi because I don't think they should leave him off of WrestleMania, of putting him against a man who would give him a banger of a match, who hasn't been on TV in quite some time, and he goes by the name of Sheamus. And I think that would be fantastic because I vividly remember the triple threat between Sheamus, Gunther, and Drew McIntyre, which I know probably left them in pain for weeks after that match. And I think that there is opportunity for them to do the same with Sheamus and Oba, but I've been talking for a long time. The WrestleMania picture, we currently only have two confirmed matches, but there is a lot of potential for them to make this card worth watching. Not worth spending $46,000 for to get front row seats, but definitely they're in a better spot than what they were, I feel like, last week.
I think the women matches that we put together really help elevate it.
Yes.
Um, and it looks like they're going in that direction anyway. I'm excited for that. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of your point about the tag titles, my God. Like, I don't know if they're leaning in a direction of the Usos versus like division, but is division even a thing?
Yeah, do they still are they still alive?
Um, yeah, again, to your point about Brock Lesnar, there's two people I wouldn't mind seeing answer the call. I love um, LA Knight. He's a mixture of old school in his own niche. I love the man,
Yes.
but you are tribute to
I
Brock Lesnar squash.
volunteer strip.
Or, and
Yeah.
I don't think they'll involve this person with Brock Lesnar, but Danhausen.
I thought you that would be hilarious. I thought you were gonna say Javon Evans, but Danhausen would be hilarious with Brock Lesnar.
I actually want Javon and Penta
Oh
to
my gosh.
destroy the roof of the T-Mobile Center,
Dude,
whatever it's called.
you know how
I
insane that would be as an opener?
Oh my God.
Kill.
That's what I want for that match. Um, I mean, I don't think they're gonna leave that off the card. Like, all right, so we booked six and you said they did 7 and 7. So there's 8 matches for the men, and
Yeah,
just two are booked. So
they have six more.
same exercise. So we have 6 matches. So let's book that one.
Mm-hmm.
Javon versus Penta. Let's book Brock versus somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then the tag matches. I don't know if it's division because oh my God. Um, really? Finn and Dom
Mm-hmm.
grudge match.
Yeah.
Um, the thing about the demon is not some mystical character that they tried to do in WWE.
Right. It's a
When
part.
he did it before, it was like war paint.
Yeah.
Like now, all right, now this is serious. I'm throwing on my war paint. And
Right.
he was like Venom or the Joker or like
Mm-hmm.
he did a lot of different things in his whole body makeup. But it was like war paint and not some mystical creature that WWE tried to make it. And I
Yeah.
think that's why he even said it's hard to book that character. Just
Mm-hmm.
like Bray Wyatt, it was just hard to book the supernatural things, unlike the Undertaker. But I would like to see them do that. They could definitely. I mean, yeah, the demon sells shirts. Come on, man. And TKO, they likes their money. So we got Dom and Finn, and he's dealing with all of Judgment Day. So yeah, the demon can, although it's just JD McDonough and no other male. So we have Dom and Finn. We have the Brock Open Challenge.
Yeah.
What else did we put together? We put together did we do the tag, the mixed not mixed tag, but Jelly Roll and
Uh,
Danhausen
Jelly Roll and Danhausen,
versus Miz
Kit Wilson,
and
and
Kit.
Javon and Penta.
So that's yeah,
4.
that's 4, right? So we still got some more matches to book.
The
So they
mid,
got a lot of room
they do.
to
That's the thing. And that's good.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
bad.
I say Trick and Mello.
I agree. Oh my god.
Unless they want to hold that off. Trick and Mello.
Yeah, but
Um,
I would love Trick Willie with the US title.
yeah. I don't know. You don't leave Obafemi off the card, and I don't want him to fight Brock unless Brock is losing. I
Agreed.
don't know. I don't know if you can set up the. And we don't know. I don't know the health condition of Sheamus. So I
Yeah.
don't know if we can put that together in this time. And why would they fight?
It's just for
Like
fun.
just for fun,
Yeah, just
for
for
that
fun.
payday?
Just
I
for
don't know how you fit Femi in unless it's Brock Lesnar.
Do you think that if they don't do Ray and Gunther, they do Obafemi and Gunther? I think that's something that is WrestleMania bound, but it's like I think that they could savor that for like a main event kind of thing, like not just like a grudge.
Right. I mean, Gunther just did biggest violation to a lucha
Yeah.
libre and try to save the day and end his career. Although I personally believe Dom should be the one.
I
I
agree.
mean, come
To
on.
do his father,
He
yeah.
talks about his deadbeat dad. He talks about him as a deadbeat dad. I ended his career. The
Yeah,
heat alone from just that. Gunther doesn't need it.
he doesn't need that.
Gunther doesn't need it at all. But I mean, I'd have to do a lot more math to figure out all the 8 matches, but they have potential.
They do.
I'm worried. I am so worried about Obafemi losing.
Same.
Maybe they leak that. They leak stuff all the time. And the story to the dirt sheets that talked about, Paul Heyman and Brock, they feel like they should not lose any match until he does a retirement match.
Yeah.
It's like where it sounds like, yeah, it's BS. It also sounds true, but Brock just wants money.
Right,
He
yeah,
also tries to protect his character. They all try to protect her. That's that old school mentality.
yeah.
You protect your character, and like Stone Cold did that a lot. Like Stone Cold wouldn't do that, like that type of stuff.
Right.
So I don't. I will be so heartbroken if they have that man beat. And some people are like, "Whoa, this could help him." Get out of here. That his first WrestleMania match, and you have the killer of all black man dreams.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of here with
The
that.
narrative continues.
But
No.
yeah, but this falls into my same topic of like guys that aren't booked. Like, what are you doing? How many question marks do we really have? With like you can clearly see how they look at like LA Knight. He's not high on the card. He can't possibly be.
No.
Good things come to those wait. No, well, no, not unless you're him. Like, him and again, we question Obafemi, and I feel like Gunther might just be. I don't know how I am about that match, him and Rey Mysterio. I feel like we've seen that
Yeah.
multiple times on TV. I just don't know unless you have all the Lucha Libres team up and beat the
And
hell out of them.
like they morph into like a Power Ranger or something and they kill
Yeah,
Gunther.
they morph into Ultimate Lucha Libre. And I don't know. It looks like it's leading that way for Gunther. I mean, he's gonna put together a great dramatic match. That man is tremendous
Yeah.
at the art of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
He is a professional wrestler. That's what he is. He old school.
Mm-hmm.
He's telling a story.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he does is telling a story. Um, but yeah, I mean, we're going on and on, but it's shaping up.
It
It
is.
looked grim, but the card is shaping up, and I'm very happy in the direction where they're going, unless they job out Obafemi. Not yet. His loss has to be like big.
Yeah.
Like his first loss has to be a big thing. The way they're building him up,
Yeah.
but yeah. But that's it. That's DDT podcast. That's our thoughts on WrestleMania and the direction that is going. I feel like it's positive.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of people that want to put the negative spin on it. There's definitely stuff you can criticize, but I like the direction it's going. I like the potential women matches that they have that can be put together. The men after the first 2 matches is definitely foggy, but we'll see in the coming weeks where they go. But with that, like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. Thanks for watching. DDT is out.
Bye.
You just can't get up from that.